Hi there everyone, welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. My name is Ariel and I welcome you to this general reading for all signs. This is meant to be an energetic check-in for everybody as we sit here in the energy of the Libra new moon. It's September 29th, the day after the official turning of the moon, and the new moon is still in Libra until tomorrow. I think in the evening it turns to Scorpio. So I really wanted to do this reading for everyone because I have to say I started the channel not too long ago. This is the first one I've done that's for every sign, and I felt on this last round of readings, October 1st through 15th, for each sign, a lot of very honestly heavy energy. I felt like it was harder to do these readings in this past go around than any I've done for the channel so far. And I've been doing astrology and tarot for half of my life, so for me to feel that was something. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do a universal energetic check-in for everyone as we go through this Libra new moon. I pulled the astrological chart that's accompanying us right now. So this is actually, I don't know how well you can see it on that camera, but I'm going to show you guys. There is so much in Libra right now. Mars is not officially in Libra yet, but it's really close. It's only a few days away from also being in Libra. So that gives us 5 planets. That's the Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, all traveling together in Libra. So this is a very strong pile-up. So obviously, any Libras out there, this is high time for you. You're feeling the energy. You're feeling the vibrancy that's coming from that. And then over here, over down in this corner, this is where we have Saturn and Pluto sitting side by side in the sign of Capricorn, which is creating a square. See all those lines right there? If you're not used to reading astrological charts, that is called a square aspect. And on a wheel like this, you'll see a line drawn between 2 or more planets to show that relationship that they have to each other and how they impact and affect each other. So a square is a 90-degree angle that creates more challenge, more friction, just more feelings of like obstacle and difficulty. It's not always bad, but it definitely doesn't always feel good either. So I think a lot of the heaviness that came up with everyone's reading was in different ways, but a similar energy. The other thing that's been happening this past week, I'll point out, is that Mars has been opposing, which means just right on opposite ends of Neptune. And when Mars and Neptune get together, Mars is like fire and Neptune's like water. When they get together in any sort of aspect, they create a lot of steam. It's like fire and water coming together, they create a lot of steam. Meaning for us it creates a lot of confused energy. So I would say that what we're all feeling a lot of is a heavy emphasis on relationships. Because Venus is sitting in a square to Saturn and Pluto, we're all feeling a heaviness around relationships, whether it's something that's ending or has already ended or something that's ongoing. Even if it's a very good relationship, it's feeling the tension because Saturn is very impersonal and it's all about being efficient and getting things done, and it can be very emotionally cool and detached, in some ways similar to the energy of Uranus or Aquarius, but this is Capricorn energy, which can also be a little bit that way. And when it's in an aspect square to Venus, which is our personal love life, our personal emotions, how we socialize, it can really inhibit love. It can inhibit loving expression. So people literally are less compassionate in their thought and speech. They're less compassionate and more just the facts, just sticking to that. And for people like you or me, I'm sure there's many out there that are very sensitive, that's not easy to deal with. That's very challenging. So yeah, our planetary energies are very intense. The people that are really, really feeling this the most are going to be obviously Libra, Capricorn, and then our other two cardinal signs, Cancer and Aries. If you're not one of those signs, you're still feeling it, just in different parts of your personal chart and in your universal charts, and you're not exempt from it. You may not be quite as under that sword as the cardinal signs are right now, but you know, in your personal chart, if you have a lot of cardinal signs, you're going to be feeling it anyway, because all of us have a chart that looks like that, right? And it's, you know, for the one that was when we were born. We all have a placement of all those, you know, 10 planets in those 12 houses in different signs, and that's what makes us act the way we do, need the things we need, want the things we want, talk the way we do. It's, you know, this is what creates our personal blueprint of us. And so getting into the cards, I've pulled up a whole bunch of different card decks because I'm going to go through a little series of progression because this is the Libra new moon, and in 6 months from now, when the sun is in Aries, which is the opposite of Libra, we will have a Libra full moon. We're about to have an Aries full moon on the 13th, so I think this is getting into some interesting cardinal dynamics. So I'm just going to give a general read for universal energies to see what all of us are kind of dealing with, get us on a good track, show us what we should focus on, you know, especially as spiritually motivated people. I consider anyone that comes to my channel definitely a seeker, definitely a spiritual being. If you've been drawn to connect with this, you know, these modalities, with these studies, and with me personally, I just, you know, I'm so grateful for you guys being here. It's really wonderful. I can't even fully articulate how good it's been getting to know you guys. I'm just super grateful for it, and my little dragon is too. And this is definitely a dragony channel. I am born in the Chinese dragon year, and that's just why I have the Dragon Tail Tarot. That's why I keep my little dragons very close. And we are actually in the Chinese year of the pig still. And I do teach classes about Chinese astrology as well. It's Western astrology. So the pig year is a harder year for a lot of folks, and I'll tell you why. It's because the pig energy, every Chinese sign has a Western equivalent sign. Doesn't mean they're exactly the same, but they take on a lot of the similar qualities. So the year of the pig, or also the boar, is also called that many times, is Scorpio energy. Scorpio is the equivalent of the pig year. So you may feel some of those in the pig as well is the last sign, the last cycle of the lunar Chinese zodiac. So we're actually wrapping up that Chinese zodiac energy this year. So this doesn't surprise at all that we will be feeling a lot of things coming to endings. Endings and then beginnings, because Scorpio energy is very like destroyer and creator. It's very black and white. It encompasses all those very powerful, heavy cycles of life, you know, death and then rebirth. That's why Scorpio has the connection with sexuality, because there's that sexuality energy that creates rebirth, you know, and then, you know, born again. So it's that phoenix from the ashes. It's very transformative and regenerational, but it's not always easy. And this is definitely, we're in the last, you know, 4 or 5 months, because I believe that we go into the rat year in February next year. And the rat is aligned, obviously, next sign over, with Sagittarius energy. Much brighter, much more optimistic, and it starts the Chinese lunar cycle all over again. So keep that in mind, everyone, that we're all in that energetic universal pattern of the year of the pig. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing some cards. I'm going to be doing just kind of a journey for all of us to see what we're looking at with this Libra new moon, and how we journey to the Libra full moon 6 months out, and see what kind of things we're learning. Because as we move from this very heavy energy, I looked at the charts, very interesting. This particular, right now, the Libra new moon energy, Venus is squaring Saturn, which is very challenging, like I said. Then, 6 months from now, Saturn has just gone into Aquarius, and Venus will be in Gemini, and it will be trining itself. So we're going from a Venus-Saturn square to a Venus-Saturn trine, which is beautiful. So in 6 months, not that it'll be that tough throughout the whole 6 months, but I'm just saying that we have a cyclical pattern. 6 months from now, Venus and Saturn are getting along, whereas right now they're kind of getting on each other's nerves. So that means that instead of love being challenging to work out, love starts to work out a lot easier. So I think better times are definitely coming. Don't you agree, Mr. Dragon? Yes. Alrighty, so I'm going to set him to the side. He's going to go guard my crystals over there, guard the treasure. And let's start doing some cards here. A big card that came out for everyone, a lot of people, almost across the board. If you haven't watched your signs video for October 1st through 15th, yeah, watch that either before or after watching this video. And see if that High Priestess popped up in your reading, because she was coming out a lot. A lot. She was popping up in the Major Arcana. She was popping up in my Rider-Waite deck, Osho Zen deck. And the High Priestess is one of the hardest tarot cards to define, because she is very mysterious, very secretive. She doesn't have a direct, as far as I know, a direct zodiac sign alignment. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all out there. But I don't think she does. If I was going to connect the High Priestess with any energy, I would say probably Scorpio, Cancer, and maybe a little Libra, because of the balancing act and the black and white pillars, very Scorpio. And she always has the lunar imagery as well. To me, it's very Cancerian. But the mysterious aspect is so Scorpio. She's got power, you know, very, very strong spiritual power that is hard to always articulate. It's a little bit hard to get it out there. And so I think that because that was coming up for a lot of people, I get a feeling that a lot of folks, especially very sensitive spiritual ones, you are feeling very much that it's hard for you to be understood by other people. And in a way right now, it's hard for you to understand even yourself, because there's so much spiritual and emotional and psychological growth deep within. It's hard for you to even quantify exactly the nature of it. And if you try and you put it out there, a lot of these ideas are so kind of, you know, etheric and higher vibration that they sort of just go over a lot of people's heads, unless they're kind of on the same wavelength. And so you might be feeling very melancholy or very almost depressed, because it's that feeling of, I just wish somebody understood me. I wish somebody could get it. I get it. So trust me, you got a dragon in your corner here. And when you got a dragon in your corner, you're doing pretty good. So, you know, but that is, I think, a thing that a lot of people that are of a spiritual nature are struggling with. I could just get that feeling with High Priestess coming up so frequently. So let's go ahead and start with the cards on that note, and see if that High Priestess makes her appearance known. Again, we will see. All right, dear angels, divine beings of light, dear Jesus, dear Mother Mary, Buddha, Kuan Yin, Saint Therese, all ancestors and guardians, Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, helpers and healers, all spirits of passed on loved ones, for everyone watching, for everyone who will watch this. Just be with us as we tap into the divine source, make that connection with spirit. For any messages for everyone who's watching for this new moon in Libra, 2019, as we travel 6 months out to the full moon in Libra on April 7th, 2020. Protect everyone's energy that watches this session. Protect my energy as we give this reading. Protect everyone who views this from any lower entities or negativity, anything that pulls them down. We ask that to go into the light right now. And please bring through clear, accurate messages for our higher good. Thank you so much, Spirit. All right, so the moon card came up. Not the priestess, but the moon. So let's see, it's all about that lunar energy. So we're definitely being heard there. And I think that, yet again, because this moon card deals as well with Pisces, that we are entering a time of a lot of Piscean energy. And underneath, on the underside of the deck, was the Tower. Oh, and there's the High Priestess hiding behind the Tower. I think we'll pull her out just because we've been talking so much about her, but these three came out. Put those three up. Yeah. Those are the majors. Those are just the major arcana right there. So yeah, this is it, you know, right here. These lunar frequencies, lunar energies, Pisces energy, sensitive, psychic, intuitive, all those things that are working within us, right? You know, there's a lot of towers coming down for people. I often see this tower as, you know, it's kind of the hand of the divine. It's not really like it's personal. It's not like, oh, we're, you know, punishing you or doing something that's just hard on you. It's not like that. It's really about things that need to be cleared away. Old baggage, old constructs. It's a tower after all. It's a big building. And as it comes down, you know, we feel like, oh no, the world's falling, and it's, oh, nothing will be the same. And it's true, nothing will be the same. But it's for our highest good. I think it's interesting that my High Priestess was hiding out behind that Tower card, right? Because, you know, the deeper, the thing that's hiding, you know, behind the surface, behind the construct, is that deeper spiritual knowing. Deeper spiritual initiation and learning. This is also bringing up a lot of shadow side healing to the surface. I feel that as well. So I'm just going to pull top and bottom of the deck. This is our spirit animals. Let's just pull a couple of these guys. See what spirit animals are good for us to take on this moon to moon journey, Libra journey. Love all my Libras out there, by the way. Y'all are just the best friends, I swear. I love all my signs, but I do love my Libras, so I know y'all are feeling this energy big time right now. Ooh. I'm going to pull one from the bottom, one from the top. Look at that! Darn. Okay, so spirit on top, hawk spirit, high frequency, high soaring energy. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacles. So look at that. This little moon journey is about overcoming the obstacles. It's about getting through hardship and having the higher vision, the higher mind. The hawk always shows where we're seeing things with a broader perspective from way up high. You know, that hawk eye, that sharp sight that sees very, very well and very clearly. Hawks have way better vision looking for. They have some of the best vision from long distance. Not as much up close, right? You know, but from long distance they see really well. So this is telling us to really pay attention to what's coming up, you know, in the future, because it's coming at us fast, you know. And that rhino spirit, wow, it's a strong, resilient energy, which is actually pretty amazing. And, you know, getting through the obstacles of life, not letting things get us down. All right, so I've got a lot of cards. I'm going to be moving them around here so that we don't get too many all stacked up on the table. Just make sure that doesn't fall into my candle. We get a lot of hawks here where I am in Georgia, and we see them all the time. I've actually got some beautiful hawk feathers I have found when I'm, you know, out walking, because they come around all the time, and they're just amazingly beautiful anytime I see them. So now I'm going to pull three, you know, kind of do the sun, moon, rising energies here, things that we need to know on our conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the way that we drive that vehicle forward through these 6 months here. Let's see what comes up with my moon decks. I'm going to do the Moonology, Queen of the Moon, and then some astrology cards with this. Yes. Oh, look at all that. There's some good earthy energy coming up. So for the solar, for our conscious mind, here comes the dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Taurus is also ruled by Venus, just like Libra is. So this is a really beautiful manifestation moon card here, manifesting moon. So it's not enough just to dream. You got to have a plan to move it forward. Full moon in Virgo. This is speaking to the moon, to our subconscious here. You are good enough. A lot of people need to hear that, and not only that, they need to believe it deep within, and step into the fullness of it. That's why that full moon came up again. So 2 earthy moons, and then for the rising, like this, expect powerful change. New moon eclipse, and we are in that new moon right now. And I believe our next new moon eclipse, I'll check this in my ephemeris. Actually, I can do that right now. Because I think our next new moon eclipse might be this end of December here. Yes. Okay, so new moon doesn't say that that's an eclipse, but it is a new moon that comes up on December, and I actually think that that's when we're having our next, because we end this year with another eclipse pattern I believe it is in Capricorn. So yeah, that would be it. New moon eclipse, that could be a definite midpoint of energy, where we really start to see some direct change in our personal life is when we hit those eclipse patterns again, right there at the end of the year in Capricorn and Cancer. Wow. Okay, so Queen of the Moon, let's see what she has to say about this same energy here. Wow, that says a lot right there. Let me show you. Okay, so here on top of full moon in Taurus, we have the waning crescent, the resistance. This is that, got to keep the pressure on. Yeah, it feels like we're clawing through the mud. Molasses in January, that kind of feeling, So as we move forward through these 6 months, especially in the beginning, it can feel like a tough, like a plowing a field that's very hard to get moving. It can feel that way, that earthy feeling. Then we got another waning gibbous here, and that's boundaries. This is a very strong card here. You are good enough. This is speaking to our subconscious. You are good enough. And then putting up your boundaries. Oh, y'all, we're learning a lot about healthy boundaries here with that full moon in Virgo, and then the boundaries card. Look at that protective bubble. She says, nobody that's not worth my time gets in here. Nobody who's going to treat me poorly gets in here. Because Virgo energy is similar to Pisces energy. It's very giving, compassionate, goes the distance. But the trouble is it's hard for both of those signs to put up those boundaries. And the moon sign, of course, for everybody being very soft. This is important for everyone to know that, to learn healthy boundaries. Oh, that's a big one. It's a huge thing, especially with this Libra energy. Libra does the same thing because they just give and give and give and give. They don't always keep those healthy boundaries because they don't want to come across as being rude or mean, but it's not rude or mean to say, I need to take care of me too. So that's it. And to not accept less than what you're worth, to not accept people into your space who are going to really treat you poorly. But the beautiful thing, I just love this. So waxing gibbous, then waning gibbous, we have the pleasure card that comes out for the rising sign. So expect powerful change. Pleasure is like that wonderful release. It's that waning right after the full moon. So expect a feeling of release, a feeling of joy, a feeling of finally, that kind of feeling after that full moon in Libra. That is April 7th. So just keep that in mind, everyone, that we're working towards some very powerful energy. And I'm going to pull on top of these some of my astrology cards. and see what comes up. Just deepen this message, 333 here. Wow, so look at this. So on top of the line for the sun actually came up the sun. So the sun card placed in its own column here. So yeah, this to me points to a lot of vitality, a lot of optimism. So even though the energies have been kind of heavy, there's a lot of optimistic growth here, a lot of optimistic expansion. You know, keep your mind up, keep your chin up, keep your dragon snout up. On top of that moon, there comes the 5th house of creativity. So the subconscious is working within the realms of the Leo house, the creative house. That's why we've got the comedy and tragedy mask, the symbol of the theater, because to me, you know, Leo is very much into theater, the performing arts. This could be something, honestly, that gets you out of your worried mind or anything that's kind of troubling you on the interior, and helps you to realize how much you have a lot of worth, is to either get into something creative, channel your energy into something that's creative, that brings you more vitality and just a happier feeling. And then on top of the rising energy for us is the moon, is the soul. So really, we're getting to a place with this whole transit that we are showing who we truly are, showing what we're about, revealing more of our intuitive side to the world, because the rising sign is all about what we show to the world at large. So if you know your rising sign, you will need your birth time to calculate that on any, astrology site. But the way that you express the whole rest of your chart comes through that rising sign. So when we have the moon coming up on top of that rising sign column, to me that's like being willing to be, show your more private spiritual side on the outside. And it's also asking for what you want, because I always say that that moon sign is very much about what we really need deep inside to feel ourselves, to feel fulfilled, to feel completely content and cozy. We have to do the needs of the moon sign. So I think that it's like you're asking more for what you want, being more comfortable with showing that softer, vulnerable side. That's what we're going towards. It's very beautiful. So let's just pull some tarot and see what comes out along the way to this journey through this new moon in Libra. All right. Yep. And I'm going to clarify these. Let's see what comes up. Just give me a second here. We're going to lay them all out. So we start with the Wheel of Fortune, and that definitely indicates that, fortune is changing, that the tides are turning, and usually in a more optimistic, favorable direction. So let's see what clarifies that wheel. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, fortune is turning in a more positive direction. 10 of Pentacles comes out. To me, it's very, very earthy energy. Very Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. A lot of earth energy coming out here, which to me points to greater stability, greater harmony. That's where we're trying to get. That's where where the fortune is turning. Even if it doesn't feel that way, it doesn't mean we're there yet. It just means the wheel is in process of shift. So the next card that comes out along this line is the Two of Swords. Feeling like you can't quite see the decisions in front of you that you've got to make, feeling like you're kind of like stuck in that rock and a hard place. So let's see what comes out to clarify this. And this does make some have some decision making, because you know that Libra energy with the new moon puts us in that place of balance, of having to sometimes choose. That's why Libras have a very hard time making decisions sometimes. They're famous for indecision, because they're always balancing, well, which is better, you know, the pros and the cons, figuring out, you know. So yeah, this can definitely lead to a thing where there's some decisions, and we've got to cut some things out of our lives we may not want to do, you know, and we may have to really do that Libra thing where we balance all the pros and cons before we make that choice. Yeah, but I think the choice, yet again, look at this, another very earthy card, very Capricorn energy. I think this is very like Libra Capricorn, which is the exact energy that we're in. So, you know, we're working through this, making these decisions, and the decision really here with that Page of Pentacles is to go forward in a more solid, earthy way. I think that, you know, the decisions that we're going to be making and everyone's going to be making are ones that bring greater stability, greater harmony, greater balance, greater opportunities of success, and building something that means, you know, that has meaning to you. That's, you know, got some depth, it's got some roots and a foundation to it. Yeah, because here we go. Here's that Ace of Wands. Comes out next. And Ace of Wands, it's power, it's vitality, it's that fire energy, it's new life, but big new life, not like just a little something happened. No, this is like divine source intervention coming in, get you back in touch with the divine. And a lot of it is to bring us out of the worried mind, the anxieties, the sadness, the leftover pain that people have caused us, or things we've been through, either in a relationship or loss of a loved one, or, you know, just not being where we want to be in our you know, career or spiritual life. So, you know, this is really about getting us in a stronger place, you know, taking us to the next level. And then definitely the next level comes up, and here's some more earthy energy for us. Nine of Pentacles, there she is, and she does have that little falcon on the hand. So this is about staying grounded, but also, you know, seeing the farther vision. Just like with the hawk and the rhino here that started us out. You know, the rhino is very earthy, very tertiary, very connected to the earth, and the hawk is very much about that forward, long-ranging vision. So let's see what comes up on top of the Nine of Pentacles. It's a beautiful card about stability, abundance, having business together, having the house together, feeling very, you know, stable, very content. Yes. Here's that Sagittarius energy. Love that. There's the integration, the temperance, right? So this is all about bringing it all together. Like, you know, this is a consistent message. You know, both of our intuition and our practical side as well. So then the Eight of Cups comes up. Eight of Cups is all about leaving something that wasn't fulfilling. So if there's anything that's not fulfilling you, you're out of there. You're out of there. You know, I was going to mention as well that Temperance card has so much to do with the Refiner's Fire, tempering the sword to create a more flexible, resilient blade. You know, that's where that tempering steel, tempering something, makes it stronger, more flexible, and also gives it way more value. Yeah. So that is something that's coming up. You know, there is that process of tempering, and sometimes that means going through the metaphorical fire, the emotional fire, spiritual fire, to become refined and stronger. Yeah, and I think, wow, see, the end of this is such a Libra journey for everyone here. This is about leaving behind conflict. Literally, this is what this literal connection literally means. I mean, this is like, you know, here's that Five of Wands that's all about conflicts and nitpicking and arguing and, you know, back and forth and nothing ever really getting resolved, and you moving away from that. because it's not emotionally fulfilling. It's not emotionally stabilizing. And then the last card that comes out on this tarot journey here is the King of Pentacles. Very strong, again, Taurus energy, very positive. We started with that full moon and Taurus card, and then we're coming full circle to the King of Pentacles, which is Taurus. So very rooted, very grounded. Any of my Tauruses out there, you're gonna feel this one for sure. So let's pull a clarifier for the King of Pentacles, please. Aha, very Taurus energy. This nothingness card in the Osho Zen looks like just a black card. It is, but it is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So Taurus. Strong, grounded, rooty, sensual, enjoying the abundance of the earth, but also having that practical side is a beautiful, beautiful energy that really balances, in my opinion, the divine male and female principles, because it gets into, you know, Taurus is an earthy sign. The king is represented, so there brings that masculine energy, but Taurus itself is very feminine, and it's very sensual and beautiful. So really fantastic sort of journey here, but I think that what we're going towards here, everyone, is a greater time of stability and harmony, a greater time of commitment to your core values, principles, things that really matter to you, because Taurus is all about your personal value system. It's not just about money. It's easy to say Taurus is only about money, but it's really got a lot more to it. It's money, it's materials, it's how you handle those materials, but it does get deep into your key values. So everyone watching this, no matter what your sign, this key energy right here with this new Libra moon traveling to April when we get the full moon in Libra, this is very much about a journey to greater stability, greater contentment, and grounding for everybody, whatever that may mean for you. Also going to pull a couple of crystal cards and see which chakras we should be working to heal during this period of time. Oh yes, the garnet and the tiger eye. Beautiful. Love it. Garnet's my birthstone because I am a Capricorn born in January, and I love tiger eye. I keep that tiger eye around all the time. That's what I consider it, one of my lucky stones actually. So this is heart and sacral chakra for the garnet, and for the tiger eye this is solar plexus chakra. And with these two healing cards, the garnet brings in stronger commitment. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I am in love with this reading because, like I said, Hierophant energy, King of Pentacles energy, there's a lot of energy of spiritual and material commitment, whether it's to your marriage partner, to your spiritual path, to a career that's divinely guided, that you love and you enjoy what you're doing. All of that coming into full manifestation. So work with that heart and sacral, because our creativity comes from that heart and that sacral. And the tiger eye is the solar, which is the one that connects it in between. So what a beautiful couple of cards for the gemstone and chakra healing. Yeah, I'm going to pull up a couple of birds too. I love my birds. I'm a big bird watcher. Love to watch my birds. Watching birds reduces stress, relieves depression and anxiety. So anybody that has space or time or wants to put up a bird feeder and maintain it, it's not hard, and oh, the birds are so fun and so wonderful, and I enjoy them every time I get to watch them and hang out with them. And the more they get to know me, they know you're the lady that brings the seeds. They start to like you after a while, or at least tolerate me, you know. All right, so let's see, my little feathered friends that I love so much. Give us a couple good messages here for everyone, please. Oh, guys, I love both of these. Look at the first one is the wren. So the wren is be bold and resourceful. The wren is a very old Celtic druidic bird as well. And he is full of, witty ideas, good communication. He's very smart, very crafty, very cunning. And I love the wren. The wren is a funny little bird. Very, very cute. And they have a great song. They make a lot of really loud, vociferous noises, but be bold and resourceful. So it's like, don't be afraid, don't be fearful. The wren is small in size, but very mighty in spirit. Trust me. I watch them all the time. And then the swan comes up, another very strong image in the Druidic tradition, because the swan is connected with the soul, with music. So yeah, music is very important right now, connecting to that side of spirit. That's my tattoo is a swan. I'm a harp player, and the swan is connected to the harp in Celtic tradition. So I've always felt very, very much at one with the swan. But magical realms are opening. The swan has a very magic, very spiritual connection. So those two things, these birds are both considered very close to the divine in Celtic lore, Druidic lore. Close to source, close to that, ultimate spirit. So yeah, these two birds are super divinely guided that came up for us today. And I'm just going to close us out with an archangel message, one of the archangels, and then one of the cards that has the oracle messages on it. See what it has to say. Oh yeah, see, I think that's very true for a lot of people out there right now. And this could be part of, like I said, committing to a divinely guided career path. Here comes Shamuel. Life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So anything that's going on in your life that's shifting you forward, that's maybe making you move, that's, maybe seems really difficult even at the time, is actually taking you further to where you need to be. Shamuel is also very connected with relationships and romance, not a surprise. Both career and relationship, vocation, what we commit to in life. So don't be surprised. Like I said, a lot of this can be very connected to both love and work, because it's about committing to what really works for you, and really being very solid and stable no matter what it is that you're doing. And sometimes it can just be committing to yourself. Just committing to yourself is a huge big deal, like with that boundaries card, to just be very solid about doing what's right for you. So yes, let's see what comes up in the oracle message. Yes, the return to innocence reminds me of that song, Return to Innocence. I love that song. So anyway, yeah, career transition. This is bringing us back to source, bringing us back to the divine. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth. No one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. So we really are in a journey right now, everyone, from a lot of heaviness, a lot of emotional feelings, a lot of very intense things coming up within our psyche, within our emotional and spiritual realm. And it's like it's coming up to be cleansed and healed so that we can really move forward in a lighter, more loving, more peaceful, stable, connected and committed sort of way. Well, thank you so much for sitting here with us, me and my dragon. The dragon and the dragon. I'll be back very soon with readings for the full moon. And I don't know if we'll do this again. I may do it after, next month as well, or whenever I feel that there's an energetic universal check-in to do with all of you here. But this was beautiful and lots of good stuff to look forward to. We've got a journey ahead of us, guys. I'll see you real soon. Take care.